Well, hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and finally, we get our first look at Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Coming very soon to Steam and Xbox, this game is absolutely amazing. Astonishingly beautiful. I've already flown over my house in a little bit of a test, and now it's time to recreate one of my favorite missions from Microsoft Flight Simulator, the X version, flying to Area 51. The shuttle mission known as Janet is just an amazingly fun mission with some fun effects and such that happen during your flight there. And I don't want to spoil anything from that game, but we're going to go spy on Area 51, do a landing, and just fly by the facility just because it's just one of those iconic missions that I wanted to do. And I've seen other people doing it as well, and it just seems like a lot of fun. Now, spoiler, warning, alert, I want everyone to know, hold on, I am a bad pilot. It's my first time taking off, really, and learning this game, so I'll get better in time. So if you're, cringe or screaming at your screen or whatever typical copy pastas you may be experiencing, just keep in mind that I'm getting used to my Microsoft Flight Simulator game and also the Thrustmaster 16000M that I'm using. For example, the brakes, I'm having trouble toggling them on and off, so I have to tap the button, and I'll look further into the settings. But hey, when you got a new game in front of you, sometimes you just can't wait, right? Like, who cares about reading the owner's manual when you want to fly, right? It's the same with your car. Nobody reads everything about their car. Sometimes you just want to go out and drive once you get a new one. But I also have learned that the landing gear is a little weird too, where sometimes when I fold it up, no matter what plane I'm in, I have to kind of unfold it again and fold it again in order to get the landing gear notice to go up. But whatever, that's all on my part. This game is absolutely beautiful. And even if you're an absolute noob and you're just horrible at flight sims or whatever, you should not be afraid of this game. It really should be encouraging, because there's a lot of tutorials in the game in order to learn how to take off, land, taxi, and of course the beautiful multiplayer. Well, we're approaching Area 51 now. I finally got my stuff organized. I'm finally in control of the aircraft, or at least more than I was. And there, over there off to our right, we see what's known as Groom Lake, and Area 51, otherwise known as Homey Airport, which is just built into the side of the mountain there, pretty close to it, to that large rock face just in front of us. So over to our left is the main facility, and there's a lot of runways here too, and of course quote-unquote UFOs and other types of aircraft have taken off from here. Really interesting history with Area 51, but a really cool looking facility, and this game has recreated it beautifully. You can see a full-fledged parking lot down there, vehicles driving around, all the buildings, and also details of like roadways that are made of dirt, where you can actually see dirt tracks and tracks leading to buildings in the actual lake itself. Very interesting, very cool looking. We're about to fly over a building here that's out on the runway, and I'm kind of curious to know what that is. I haven't really dissected Area 51 into each of its parts, but it's really cool looking buildings that look like maybe some sort of an ATC or a storage building of some sort. I have no idea, but it's really cool to see from the air. And this plane's probably one of my favorites that I've flown so far, of the two that I've tried out. I've got a lot more to do, but again, I cannot wait to do more of this game. I don't care if I'm a poor pilot, and neither should you. It really should be about exploring the world, and with this one being so detailed compared to the other games, it's almost as if like instrument flight range, flying the big jets and stuff is cool and all, but this is where it's at now with the wonderful propeller planes where you can fly low and slow and see everything below. Check that out. There's actually a baseball field down there. Did you see it? It looks like there was one in the corner there by what seems to be large barracks. They almost look like large Soviet-era apartment buildings, and that is just so cool looking. All these different buildings, some made of concrete, some that look old, some that look new, and that's definitely a mixed bag down there. Really neat. Some buildings that are just like a concrete cube, other buildings that look like they're made of older materials like brick and mortar. Very interesting. And what looks to be more buildings down there too on that side. Let's hop into the cockpit here for a little while and take a look around. Now, one thing I'll have to figure out, I know there's a hotkey to remove the instrument HUD as well, so I'll have to figure out how to do that when you're looking externally from the aircraft. There should be a way to do that, although I looked in the controls. But again, when you get a new car, the last thing you want to do is read the full owner's manual. You want to zip around. Really a cool looking area too. I don't think I knew that this was built onto a lake until I kind of looked at a map before I flew here. And of course, there's heavy security around this area as well, including motion sensors and cameras and probably drones and such that fly around on patrol as well. There's multiple runways here, and it's really cool to see. At this point, we probably would have been shot down by some sort of a missile or some sort of defensive cannon. I'm sure there's all sorts of defenses around this facility to prevent aircraft from even getting anywhere near to where we are right now. And I believe the tarmacs here are all made of concrete, except for maybe the one that lands out in the on the lake bed. There goes those barracks again below us, and you might be able to catch a glimpse of that baseball field too. Some very large facilities there, very large hangars for storing aircraft and other equipment. And there's that large parking lot there. Very strange to see such a huge parking lot in a facility that's so remote. A lot of people are flown in and out of here via shuttlecraft, which is one of the things that you recreate in the Microsoft Flight Simulator X, but also buses and other things too come in here. Be kind of cool if they had. I bet there's facilities underneath this building too, or the facility like tunnels. Maybe there's a railway or something under there that goes to other parts, you know, to transport things secretly underground. Very big pieces of equipment. Who knows what could be buried underneath there? We're going to try to do a landing now. Keep in mind this will be rough and whatnot. I've turned off all the damage and the realistic for the airframe and whatnot, just so I can zip around and get some tight aerial photos of the facility and whatnot. We'll try a nice little landing here. Hopefully it turns out to be as smooth as butter. We'll see. The frame rate in this game is beautiful and everything's really good. I'm playing on high end right now, not on ultra. Ultra seemed to be a little chuggy on my PC, which I'm running 2 Titans, so that's plenty of power, but it seems like it's one of those games where if you flip it between high end and ultra, there's a lot more power usage, but the difference isn't too high. I'll have to see what the differences are between low end, medium, high, and ultra. Maybe do a comparison video to show kind of how the differences will look. I'm assuming the game will probably run towards low end maybe on Xbox because, man, this game is just really a big power sink, which is awesome. Like, this is really the game to test your computer. Look at how beautiful that ground looks. That landscape is just gorgeous. All the different types of terrain there. You can see dirt, but then you see bushes and uneven surfaces. Runways in this game are also uneven, so these runways here are relatively flat because you're landing on like a very high-tech concrete runway, but other runways can be really rough and whatnot. Hey, that was not too bad of a landing. I'll give myself a 4 out of 1,000. That was pretty good for me. Brakes immediately kick on because I don't have the toggle on, but regardless, you'll see how large this facility is now. So we landed all the way over here. The facility way off in the distance. That is crazy. There is a big amount of distance between us and that facility for it being such a big runway. Look at how long that runway is that we landed on too. We landed just at the beginning of it, and it goes all the way down towards the lake. So takeoff for, I think SR-71s may have taken off from here long ago. I can't recall. I don't remember the history of it, but I believe all sorts of aircraft have probably flown here. I think I read something about F-22s and F-117s and SR-71s. Really, really cool stuff that's flown here. Alright, well, it's time for another takeoff, so let's get ready. And we'll go see this facility one more time. And I'll iron out the bugs with what's troubling me on my end, but don't you worry, this is going to be an astonishing game. People have been asking what's better, a flight stick or a yoke. In this game, you probably could do both. Some of the Airbuses use flight sticks, but other aircraft, such as this one, uses a yoke as well. So it's kind of a preference of how you want to fly, even though it's different in each real-life aircraft. You can fly all of these with any set of joystick, or even if you're more comfortable with a controller or keyboard and mouse. If you can't afford a flight stick, you can definitely play with this as well. But at this point, if you're going to invest in a game such as this, you may want to get yourself a keyboard, rather something other than a keyboard, like a flight stick. Thrustmaster's got some good stuff, and they even have like an official Airbus controller that they have either released or will be releasing in time for this game, which comes out on August 17th, by the way. And I'm very excited. Over on our left side, you'll see what looks to be a bunker-like building that I'm not entirely sure what it's for, but it really looks cool. You can see some windows in it. What looks to be maybe some radar dishes or some sort of equipment on the top. Maybe it's just air conditioning, or maybe it's disguised to be air conditioning. Who knows? Such a cool thing. I'm really inspired by other creators that are making videos now. Now that I've finally gotten my hands on it early, I want to kind of do some of the things that they've done as well. So let me know other places that you'd like me to fly to. I certainly would like to see Chernobyl for myself. I'd like to fly to Niagara Falls and see if I can land at the bottom of the waterfall. I'd like to also fly around maybe Fukushima, like I mentioned, Chernobyl, and also maybe Pyongyang. It'd be interesting to fly around like North Korea, maybe go see some famous landmarks like Red Square in Russia, or perhaps the Forbidden City in China. And of course to do some beautiful takeoffs and landings with giant jet aircraft at Tokyo International, like Haneda, and it would be really cool, or Narita, or Osaka, anywhere. It would be amazing to take off and land during some light rain. Just beautiful. The weather effects and whatnot in this game are astonishing. The multiplayer I have yet to test, but it seems like it works near flawlessly. And it's just really cool to see this beautiful facility. Look at that. Neat. Looks like we're in a mall or something like that, but it's got a giant runway, a couple of runways outside of it, which is a kind of a big moment. I'll have to go see if I can check out some stadiums and stuff as well. So let me know what planes you'd like to see. Let me know what destinations you'd like to see. And I would like to see you for more Microsoft Flight Simulator, hopefully tomorrow. I would like to make a video every single day here. I'll ask Microsoft permission to put this up as others are doing it, but we all had to sign an NDA beforehand. So hopefully I can show you this and more videos soon. You guys have been astonishing as always. Thank you for being one of the best communities on YouTube. I hope you're excited for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I will see you guys very soon for more. Enjoy one more flyby of Area 51, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, everyone.